Young Sheldon ultimately addresses Sheldon's notorious claim of witnessing his father having an affair in The Big Bang Theory, following years of build-up. Sheldon confessed to Penny the reason behind his three-knock rule, saying that he happened to catch George having illicit contact with a different woman while Mary was away at Bible study. The anecdote's contradictory portrayal of George made it a hard plot point in young Sheldon. The writers managed to pull it off, though, in some manner. For a little while, it didn't appear like young Sheldon would continue to work on the story. George's infidelity scandal was anticipated to occur at the conclusion of Season 6, according to the timeline. That with George's recently rekindled marriage to Mary made ignoring it completely seem like the prudent course of action. Regardless, young Sheldon has a track record of departing from the Big Bang Theory canon in order to further its own narrative goals. That being said, revealing the incident not only clears George's reputation from Sheldon's cheating accusations, but also advances young Sheldon's cause by satisfactorily explaining all of the plot's contradictions. In Ants on a Log and a Cheating Winker, the fourth episode of Young Sheldon Season 7, Sheldon discovers his father in a precarious situation, as he had alleged in The Big Bang Theory. But he doesn't know that George is with Mary instead of some other woman, and Mary is dressed in traditional German garb, which is a reference to a recent trip to Germany with the boy genius. This preserves the authenticity of Sheldon's three-knock rule roots while contextualizing his account of the incident. Above all, this demonstrates that Sheldon is not a trustworthy storyteller, whether on purpose or not. Sheldon occasionally doesn't know the complete story, therefore his memories of events shouldn't be viewed as indisputable facts. Young Sheldon has a wealth of information about Sheldon's propensity for lying or withholding information. He asserted that his status as a kid genius was an oddity, but the prequel repeatedly disproves this assertion, refuting the central idea of the Big Bang Theory. Sheldon's memories of events, despite his eidetic memory, cannot be taken as concrete facts, though, as George's cheating scandal episode demonstrates, since occasionally, even he is unaware of all the details. This clarifies all the differences between his Big Bang Theory stories and the events that actually occur in young Sheldon. When it comes to storytelling, a lot of Sheldon's early stories on the Big Bang Theory were done for laughs. The writers were unaware at the time that a prequel would tell the Cooper's story before it was told on screen. This is the reason why so many of Sheldon's stories were too ridiculous or implausible to be adequately translated by a spin-off. In light of this, it's reasonable to conclude that young Sheldon's experiences provide a more accurate portrayal of Sheldon's life in Texas, prior to his relocation to Pasadena, California, and the acquaintances he made there. The adult Sheldon, played by Jim Parsons, who narrates young Sheldon, acknowledges that he could have been too critical of himself while reflecting on his early years, particularly in regards to his father. The socially awkward genius on The Big Bang Theory hardly said anything positive about George, and it didn't help that Mary was always disparaging her late spouse. The Cooper patriarch's reputation as a lousy father was cemented by the infidelity scandal episode. However, Sheldon from the future has acknowledged in young Sheldon that he didn't know how wonderful George was as a father and regrets not telling him more about it. Even if young Sheldon is quite popular due to the canon, it will end. There are currently just 10 episodes left to wrap up any unresolved storylines and establish Georgie and Mandy's spinoff. While young Sheldon's retelling of the infidelity story may help his reputation, it makes George's passing all the more tragic. The family's grief at George's untimely death is compounded by the knowledge that he is happy in his marriage to Mary and is not unfaithful. Young Sheldon should try to make the most of George's final days by arranging for him to spend time with his loved ones.